Wherever there's a fast-growing population, there's three people you can guarantee to pay attention: the man on the street, sociologists, and politicians. And when it comes to the Venezuelan migration to Guyana, politicians are certainly paying attention, intent on capitalizing on the crisis. I'm the unspecialist. Let's talk about how it seems that the Venezuelan migration to Guyana has become more of a political issue than a humanitarian one. Amidst the increasing migration to Guyana from Venezuela, there has been much speculation by the populace and many claims made by politicians. Before we get into those claims made by politicians and academics, here's some information you need to know if you or someone you know has to make a claim for medical malpractice.
One medical mistake can permanently change your life or the life of someone you love. These mistakes are too common in America, causing injury and sometimes death. If you suspect that you were injured as a result of a medical mistake, call Washington Law Firm today. Don't lose your opportunity to get compensated. Don't wait. Book your free consultation with Washington Law Firm by calling 718-877-3100.
Or find us at 455 Utica Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. One of the most robust claims that we've heard in recent times from politicians is that the majority of Venezuelan migrants are Guyanese or have Guyanese ancestry. Don't take my word for it. Take theirs.
We have condemned xenophobia. Here, we have argued for fair treatment of Venezuelans. We have acknowledged that the majority of the Venezuelans who have come back and fled oppression and hunger in Venezuela, that the majority of them have Guyanese blood because they fled oppression here in Guyana sometime in the past. We've established that. We've been treating people fairly here in this country.
We don't have absolute assurances, but what I do know is that about 80% of the Venezuelans who've come in as a result of this are Guyanese. Guyanese who've gone to Venezuela and are living there and are returning. That's a fact. It's about 80% of them are Guyanese and have as much right to be here as you do.
Well, I was born here. I got a right to be here.
Well, they were born here or their parents were born here. That's the point. They are Guyanese. They are legitimate Guyanese. We can't throw them out. I haven't finished. As far as I know, almost, not everyone, but almost every one of those who have come in by boat or across the border have been processed by the authorities, all of them.
With all the poorest parties we have, you were trying to tell me that everyone who came into
I didn't say everyone.
Oh,
I said almost.
almost.
No, there are certainly Venezuelans that have come in that we don't know where they are and haven't seen them. But that's very small, believe me. If we had roads, if we were Colombia, and we had roads coming into Guyana, we're fortunate that getting into Guyana from Venezuela ain't easy.
One of the things you'll notice accompanying that statement, according to them, is that all of the migrants are being processed. What? A casual examination of those statements doesn't inspire much confidence. Those statements, however, were made with great confidence. So I guess as Guyanese, we should just take those statements as facts, right? But just in case, let's examine those statements to ensure that everything is reliable. To do this, all we need to do is follow a simple, logical process by asking ourselves 3 questions. How are these migrants arriving? Who is receiving them? And how are we reliably verifying that they have Guyanese ancestry? In following this process, we can answer all 3 questions by way of deduction. We already know that the majority of migrants are not arriving at official legal entry points, nor are they being processed by immigration officials at these points. We also know that at the informal entry points, there is no immigration officials or anyone there receiving and processing them. If the majority of them aren't arriving legally and they aren't being processed upon arrival, how can we make any reliable statements about their ancestry? Of course, they could be processed and verified afterwards, but is this actually happening? Do these people actually have any documentation on them?
A lot of those people who come across don't have no identification. Some of them throw it away to come across, and then they're undocumented. And if they go by the Venezuelan embassy in town, they can't get a new passport. The Venezuelan embassy might not be willing to help them. So you have people who are almost in a sense of statelessness.
I mean, it's perfectly understandable in this type of situation when you're migrating in a crisis to be lacking some key, essential, or important documents. Nevertheless, there is an information gap here, and it is incumbent upon the government to sensitize the people about how these migrants are being received, processed, tracked, verified, etc. Hence, given the lack of information and the unreliability of these assurances made by these various officials, why then would they make such a statement, especially with such confidence? On the surface, it appears that the politicians are looking out for the rights of Guyanese descendants and ensuring the humane treatment of migrants to Guyana, both things that Guyanese collectively support. But digging deeper, it's clear that these dubious assurances are being made because these politicians see the migrants as potential voters, and as such, they'll tailor their rhetoric and craft their image in an attempt to win them over to their side. These are tactics that are commonly used in politics, and we can certainly see them in play now.
Hace varios días atrás se llevó a cabo una conferencia en la cual el líder del partido político de la oposición citó que están preocupados por la presencia de tantos inmigrantes venezolanos aquí en Guyana, lo cual desencadenó una ola de mucha preocupación entre dicha comunidad, los venezolanos, me incluyo yo, y también desencadenó algunos incidentes de discriminación en contra de dicha comunidad. Sin embargo, ayer 30 de octubre por la tarde, en una reunión que se sostuvo en el Centro de Conferencias de la Nación, el vicepresidente hizo unas declaraciones súper importantes para la comunidad venezolana. Su señoría, el doctor Bharrat Jagdeo, vicepresidente de la República Cooperativa de Guyana, asegura en nombre del Partido Progresista para el Pueblo que no están apoyando ningún tipo de campaña de odio, de discriminación o de xenofobia como lo hace el APNU. PPP se rige por principios de unidad, de inclusión y de integración y de igualdad también. Entonces, habiendo dicho eso, el vicepresidente reitera, enfatiza y asegura que los venezolanos que estamos residiendo aquí no tenemos que preocuparnos con el PPP, ya que ellos nos toman en cuenta, ellos están muy contentos con el trabajo, con la honestidad que hemos venido demostrando a lo largo de estos periodos, que podemos seguir trabajando aquí como de costumbre, podemos seguir llevando a nuestros niños a las escuelas, si nos sentimos mal podemos seguir asistiendo a los hospitales, ya que ellos se asegurarán de que haya inclusión e integración y cero discriminación, cero xenofobia, nada de eso con el PPP. Y ojo, aquellas personas que entren en prácticas indebidas, ilegales, serán penalizadas como cualquier otro ciudadano, como cualquier otra persona que entre en dichas prácticas. Así que a portarse bien. Así que yo creo que con dichas declaraciones que se hicieron en esa reunión el día de ayer, ya podemos estar un poquito más ciertos de lo que es nuestro futuro aquí, ya que estos días pasados fueron de mucha tensión, hubo mucha incertidumbre entre nosotros, entre los venezolanos, con lo que nos depara el futuro. Y bueno, gracias a Dios el vicepresidente se ha pronunciado junto al gobierno, junto a todo el partido político del PPP, demostrando una vez más su compromiso con todas las personas que residen aquí en Guyana, incluyendo esta comunidad venezolana, una minoría vulnerable de inmigrantes. Muchas gracias PPP, muchas gracias a todos los miembros del PPP, del gobierno actual de Guyana. Los queremos mucho y estamos dispuestos a contribuir. Una vez más, muchísimas gracias en nombre de la comunidad venezolana al gobierno de Guyana, al PPP. Estamos agradecidos de por vida por permitirnos estar aquí y estamos dispuestos a seguir contribuyendo.
That TikTok was clearly more of a political promo than it was encouragement for his fellow Venezuelans. I'm not even pointing this out to highlight the political jabs thrown by the party being promoted, but instead to show you, the viewer, that the Venezuelans here are already seen as a political interest group, and to demonstrate that the unreliable assurances and sweet words of the politicians are merely a cover for more opportunistic intentions. The man on the street is seeing it too. Here's a clip of a caller to Gordon Moseley's Jumpstart show. Please use the available subtitles if you don't understand the Guyanese Creole.
It's something about me, man. How come I get all this problem from Venezuela? Yes, and the Vice President there meet them at the convention center. All the only things Venezuela do, all right, if you say that the only people will come from Guyana and then gone Venezuela when Guyana will get hard time. Now they are coming back. I mean, I said, check them. All body coming. You got boat load coming there. Venezuela say how them get. Me understand how come I will get problem with Venezuela and then I will welcome them. If they say they got problem over there and the last say you got welcome because them are what? Them are whatever they got problem, so you got to take them. It's supposed to got system. You can't all of these people are coming here. Look, Parika, you know how much them there, eh? Ruby back down, you know how much them there, and them people know them people there, they see you all there, them a camp on there. The government now do nothing. If you take one piece of land and a squat for them, they are come for you. And you got Venezuela squat all over here. And the government now do nothing. When them people been coming from that place there, them black people, when them lock them up so, them say how they're not supposed to come here. Them in a part too. They lock them up. No, listen man, them this thing here, so, me feel that the government, Jagdeo, involved in that. So that's my story. Who got what? He know about that. He talks how he had talked to the people them for give them maritime thing. Man, look, this thing here, me fed up. The thing about me bad.
Why do you think politicians are claiming that most migrants are Guyanese? Do you think that these claims and assurances are part of a bigger, deeper political ploy? Are you satisfied with the way the government is handling the current migration situation? Let me know down in the comments. Your feedback is always appreciated. I want to make it clear that migrants should always be treated humanely and in accordance with the law. Be sure to stay tuned for the follow-up episode, where we discuss how all migrants aren't created equal and examine the sentiment that promotes and drives the inconsistency in rhetoric for different groups of migrants. Thanks for watching.